Ever had that feeling that we could get faster than the speed of light? Not only visiting Mars or the Moon, but actually going to the edges of the galaxy. What if I said Elon Musk and SpaceX were on the cusp of realizing that dream with the creation of a light-speed engine that would change everything we know about space travel, or even physics? But does it actually work? How will SpaceX break the ultimate speed limit of the universe? And is this really even possible? Buckle up, as today we dive deep into the mind-bending world of light-speed travel and the new revolutionary engine of SpaceX, while touching on what this could mean to the future of humanity. The ability to travel in space has, for many years, been severely handicapped by one big factor: speed. The superfast crafts can only reach about 0.05% of the speed of light. That is great, thinking of how far we have come, but nowhere near what is required for interstellar travel. Moving at that speed, it would take over 80,000 years to travel to even the nearest star system from our Sun, Alpha Centauri. That is longer than the combined history of humanity to date. The speed of light, 299,792 kilometers per second, has long been regarded as the Iron Curtain barrier. In fact, as stated in Einstein's theory of relativity, an object, as it approaches the speed of light, gains exponentially in mass. Therefore, would theoretically require an infinite amount of energy to further accelerate it. Another way of putting this, nothing can travel faster than light, or so we've been taught. But Elon Musk and SpaceX breaking barriers is what they're known for. But suppose that wasn't the case. What if there was a way to break the physics rules far enough to fly faster than light? That's where SpaceX's latest venture, a conceptual engine to outdo physics, comes into play. In a recent announcement, he has said that the company is working on something out of science fiction, an engine capable of light speed. Although details have not been mentioned, the key to this concept could probably be found in an idea that's wild yet somehow plausible: the warp drive. If you've seen any of the Star Trek series, you might have picked up something about a warp drive. The concept would be that space-time itself gets warped or bent around, and allows a spacecraft to travel faster than light, not by actually speeding up the ship, but by moving space around it. Elon Musk's idea? A system that can create a warp bubble around a spacecraft, which could potentially shorten the distance between 2 points in space. And, yes, that sounds like something out of a Hollywood movie, but SpaceX really thinks it can make it work. Now, let's break it down. How does this concept for a warp drive actually work? The concept is thus to compress space in front of the spacecraft while expanding it behind, in a bubble that would move through space faster than light. Rather than travel through space at an impossible speed, the spacecraft would remain in a stable area inside the bubble, while space itself shifted around it. Thus, the ship travels faster than light without technically violating any known laws of physics. This is not an entirely new concept. Back in 1994, the physicist Miguel Alcubierre first proposed this sort of concept as the Alcubierre drive. But the greatest of all problems was how enormous energies were needed, perhaps a number higher than the number of the energy output of the whole sun. But SpaceX thinks otherwise, with a progressive approach to space exploration, believing that new forms of energy, the advent of a new understanding of quantum mechanics, or even research on dark matter, could someday provide that answer. And Elon Musk has always been about doing the impossible. But let's get real, there are some enormous obstacles standing in the way. First, the energy needed to power such an engine is at present beyond anything we have. We're talking about negative energy or exotic matter, things we haven't yet figured out how to produce, let alone control. Second, there are some questions, such as what happens when one travels faster than light? Would the ship be stable, and would the crew inside the ship be safe? And would the creation of a warp bubble have any other adverse effects, disrupting space-time itself or causing other dangerous effects around it? Despite these challenges, Musk and SpaceX have begun to take the first steps in making this dream real. Just like reusable rockets and colonization on Mars, the skeptics will continue to question feasibility, but that's never stopped Musk before. So, what if they do it? What if SpaceX does build a functional light-speed engine? It is mind-bogglingly profound. First, it would allow interstellar travel. Envision being able to reach star systems out of this world, explore planets light years away, and even discover other forms of life. Mankind would no longer be bounded by our solar system. We could expand into the galaxy, colonize new worlds, and become a multi-planetary species on a scale we can barely comprehend today. In a few years, the nearest star system, Alpha Centauri, would be reachable. The rest of the Milky Way would be open to explore. With this warp drive, the possibility of finding new resources, new frontiers, and even new civilizations starts to become really genuine. One would have already lived in an era of intergalactic exploration, moving beyond the boundaries of what anybody could have thought of just decades ago. Fundamentally, this has very little to do with technological achievement but everything to do with the survival and future of the human race. It is for this reason that Elon Musk has reiterated that humanity needs to become a multi-planetary species, and this light-speed engine could provide the means for making that a reality. But to him, space exploration is not only about discovery, it's about the continuance of humanity into whatever the future holds, regardless of the spectrum of possibilities we might face on Earth. And that future, for Musk, awaits among the stars. Where does that leave us? Then we're standing at the cusp of an era which very well may rewrite the meaning of being human. Today, the light-speed engine is impossible, just like landing a rocket on a drone ship in the middle of the ocean was impossible until SpaceX did it. The more Musk and his people from SpaceX push the scientific and technology envelopes, the more we can only imagine the futurists. But one thing is certain: SpaceX dares to dream bigger than ever, and it just might make the impossible possible. We find ourselves in an age of unparalleled challenges environmentally and technologically. Our Earth, beautiful and teeming with life, is fragile. Long-term uncertainty about survival on this planet drives the thought process of the need for colonies on other planets due to climate change, resource depletion, and, of course, the ever-present threat of natural disasters. Musk has said many times that if there is to be a guarantee of survival for humanity, it must be a multi-planetary species. Mars is just the beginning. Beyond Mars, an entire galaxy of opportunity awaits. And if we can crack the code on light-speed travel, nothing will be beyond our grasp. From peopling exoplanets, to mining the asteroid belt for resources, to making contact with alien life forms, any and all of these scenarios could be in play. It sounds like science fiction, but so did the internet, and smartphones, and self-driving cars. So, how close would this be to the actual view of an engine running at the speed of light? While the technology remains in infancy as a concept, the foundational work has been well underway today. In much the same way reusable rockets were considered impossible just 10 years ago, the warp drive engine is something that may take some time but is not out of reach. However, over the next several years, incremental developments are likely to continue in propulsion, quantum physics, and energy production to move us closer to the day when faster-than-light travel is not science fiction but science fact. But with SpaceX already having changed the game with reusable rockets and ambitious Mars missions, the making of a light-speed engine will be an exercise that will not merely change the game but will rewrite the rules. A new era has begun in space exploration. This may take us beyond stars to the deepest corners of the universe. So, it's not only a question of space trips that could be developed in the future, but also one that concerns the future of humanity. In any case, thanks for your attention on Discovery Blaze. See you in the next video.